Hey y'all, welcome to the Tea Factory podcast. Um, what is going on in these ATL streets? What is going on in these ATL streets, man? So I wanted to come here and talk to you guys about a few things that I saw, few stories, um, in Lovin' Hip Hop Atlanta, two cast members, and of course, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Shamea. So, before we get started, housekeeping. Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976 says there is allowance for fair use of copyrighted materials for such purposes as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research as examples of activities that may qualify as fair use. And you would think by now I should have that memorized because as many times as we have read that. So, this is the Tea Factory podcast. If you like this commentary, like the video, if you want to share your thoughts and opinion on the stories, on any of these three stories, go ahead and drop down in the comment section. Let's have a conversation. This is the Tea Factory podcast. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So, what is going on in Atlanta? Atlanta. It's always something going on here. Always. So, I saw on the local news this story about Erica Banks. Erica Banks, she is on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta cast member. And it says here, Brookhaven, which is part of Atlanta. And I'm not even gonna pretty much call it a suburb because the thing about Atlanta is, and I'm gonna do a video on this another time because I see so many comments on like Instagram. People be hating about Atlanta, the size of Atlanta, like the actual city of Atlanta, city limits is small, but then you have all the little areas, not even the suburb. Okay, like we're not even making it out to suburb. I'm talking about like in the city. There's so like for example, College Park, which is where the airport is. Some people will consider that not to be Atlanta, but it is Atlanta. But because Atlanta, from back in the day when they built the city, they didn't let it annex these little neighborhoods that became their own little towns. So even though it is Atlanta, but because it's not within the circle city limits of the city itself, Fulton County, Atlanta, some people will say, "Oh, that's not Atlanta. That's College Park," but College Park is still Atlanta, and they'll say, "Oh, that's East Point." East Point. So in Georgia is different. Where in other cities like L.A. or Seattle or Charlotte and stuff like that, as the town, the main town, let's say for example Charlotte, as it grew, it annexed the little towns around it, so it expanded the city limits of Charlotte. Whereas Atlanta, they never let it annex, and it just remained the same size that it was from its original planning from back in the day. So now in Atlanta, what you have is a bunch of all of Atlanta's metro, the whole metropolitan area is of course Atlanta, but then it's called the suburb. We consider all that suburbs, even though, like for example, like I said, College Park is not even really a suburb of Atlanta. It is Atlanta's part of it. Like it's like a block over. But anyway, it's hard to explain. You have to like live here to know what I'm talking about. But anyway, long story short, people will always be like, "Oh, the city of Atlanta is so small." The city itself, the downtown area, because it didn't get, like I said again, annexed all those little neighborhood and within it, it is small. But the metropolitan, the whole complex of Atlanta, though, is big. So it's not a small city. Everybody knows Atlanta's not a small city. It's a big city. But I have like seen so many commentary where people try to focus on that little thing that I was talking about, where they didn't let the city limits annex and they didn't let it spread out into its neighborhoods. So I'm saying all that to say Brookhaven. Brookhaven is one of those. Brookhaven is Atlanta, but because of annexing, and it was a neighborhood in Atlanta and they became their own little town. So it's considered like a suburb, but like I said again, it's not far enough to be considered a suburb. It's right there. So Brookhaven, Georgia, aka Atlanta. Um, so it says, I guess that's where she got pulled over. A cast member from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta was arrested in Brookhaven on December 8 in Metro Atlanta again. They're calling that Metro Atlanta. But again, like I explained, it's technically Atlanta. But for the sake of argument, because they would have it broken down, Brookhaven, Metro Atlanta, after police saw she was found. So after police say she was found with drugs inside a stolen vehicle during a traffic stop. So Brookhaven police confirmed that 27-year-old Erica, I don't know how you say her last name, Erica Banks is her rap name. So also known as Erica Banks was taken into custody on Monday after officers stopped a vehicle displaying a tinted tag cover, which is illegal under Georgia law. The vehicle also had a dealer tag and affixed into the rear, promoting officers to run it through the state databases. According to police, the car had been reported stolen by Atlanta police. Officers reportedly ordered Erica and the driver, 25-year-old Amina Durton of Simpsonville, South Carolina, out of the vehicle. Police say an inventory search revealed suspected MDMA inside Erica's purse, along with the green stuff packaged for distribution inside the vehicle. Erica was charged with felony possession with intent to distribute MDMA and a felony possession with intent to distribute Mary Jane. Durton was charged with felony theft by receiving a stolen vehicle, felony possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, and multiple misdemeanor traffic violations. Erica, who is known for hits like Bust It, Toot That, first appeared on season 11 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta in 2023. They said this isn't her first time being arrested in Metro Atlanta. In August, she was busted for having a pow inside of her Louis Vuitton bag, which she placed on the conveyor belt for an X-ray machine at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. A police officer ran a check on the pow and discovered that it came back as stolen in 2018 out of Greenville, South Carolina. Banks informed the police that the pow belonged to her security, but did not give them a name. She was booked into Clayton County Jail and later released. Again, Clayton County is in College Park. That's where the airport is, College Park, which is downtown Atlanta. Like I said, Atlanta's broken down into a whole bunch of small little neighborhoods, okay, within the city limits. So, anyway, so that's Erica Banks. She was arrested twice in August for having that pow at the airport, and then now on the 8th, a couple of days ago, for Mary Jane and I think MD. This I think is MDMA. I believe that's ecstasy, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's what that is. So one would ask the question, why? Okay, you're on a reality TV show. You're on TV. You are a recording artist. What is the problem? Like, why are you doing all this illegal stuff? Like, why can't you make an honest living? Like, what is going on? And one can only question and wonder. What I think probably is going on with these people is that they're not making the kind of money that they think they should be making, and trying to live a particular lifestyle. So, it's sad to see this happen to her. But it's her decision. She's a grown woman. She's making these decisions, and I hope and pray that she makes better decisions. I guess the pressure of being on TV and being a rapper and trying to have some sort of facade or image to maintain. And I wonder if she has any kids. I don't know if she has any children. I don't think she does. I don't remember on the show ever seeing that her saying that she had any children, but I hope not for her children's sake if she had any children. But once again, um, maybe she, I don't know, it's like, but you hope like she works it out and talks to her management. Maybe she needs to go on tour and do something else to try and make money. But doing illegal stuff to try to make money is not going to end well because you're just going to end up in prison, and that is not a way of life. And so, you know, um, I just hope she does better. You're on TV, and figure it out like the rest of us, okay? Like, I don't know. I want to say I feel bad for her, but at the same time, you can't say that because she's a grown person and she's made her own grown person decisions. So, we don't take delight in people's misfortunes, but this is just a lesson to be learned that sometimes, what I say, everything that flashes or glistens is not diamond, it's not gold. So, what they say, salt looks like sugar. So, while some people are always trying to envy the next person, trying to live the person's life, you don't know what kind of pressure or what that person really has going on in real life. So, I just hope that she makes better life choices. Life does be lifing, but I just pray for her sake that she makes better choices. So, being arrested twice in 1 year is not a good look. So, Erica, I just pray that you get it together and use your talent and and do some self reflecting and some and self healing. So that's the story on Erica Banks. Okay, so y'all share your thoughts on that story. So next story we have is Rennie from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta again. Her boyfriend and her baby daddy, his name is Zachary Chapman. So he was arrested as well. So it says here. So okay, so let me go back to the Erica story so we can cite our sources. So the Erica story came from Fox 5 in Atlanta. So that's a local channel, Fox 5 in Atlanta. It's all over the local stations here. Her story was. And then for what is this one? This one is from South Carolina News. So Zachary Chapman, which is her boyfriend or the father of her child, 34-year-old, whose rapper name is Black Zach, was indicted in October by federal grand jury on a host of violent crime and drug offenses, including pound in aid of racketeering. He is in jail in Spartanburg awaiting trial, having been denied bond. There's a 22-page indictment. Wow. Known as a talking indictment, alleges in considerable detail that Chapman was the founder and leader of a violent South Carolina gang that engaged in pow, drug trafficking, robberies, and other criminal activities from 2020 to early this year. So they were doing all this during COVID. Like the whole world was on lockdown, people scared and it's COVID, and these people have time, energy, and expose themselves to COVID to go out and do these crimes, allegedly. Oh, yeah, and by the way, I forgot to say allegedly on the Erica story, even though I was reading from Fox News, Fox 5 News in Atlanta. But still, I'm going to say allegedly. So, with this Chapman story, again, allegedly, this is what I'm reading from the state newspaper. But again, we're just going to say allegedly to stay kosher, stay kosher. Okay. But it was not until recent weeks that Chapman's case became formally in play for. Oh, okay. So, wow. Okay. So they're saying that his case is so bad, the things that he was doing is so bad that the state is going to try to seek the unalive penalty. I'm going to say that. The unalive penalty. They're going to try to seek that for him. That's crazy, you guys. This is sad. This is terrible. And he's young, 34 years old. And the state is going to go after him hard like this. I mean, the what he did is wrong, but okay, let's just move on. I can't. Then it says that is when Bill Nuttall, a former U.S. attorney for South Carolina and a prominent Columbia defense attorney, was appointed as learned counsel for Chapman. In federal unalike penalty cases, the appointment of a learned counsel is a signal of a possible unlike penalty case. The term learned counsel designates a lawyer who has ably represented clients in prior capital cases trials. Such an appointment ensures that the defendant will have experienced representation in unlike penalty cases, which are regarded as a highly complex and subject to numerous appeals. This week, in an interview with the state, Nettles acknowledged his appointment but declined to say much else about the case. So he's Black what's his name? Black Zach's attorney. So he's basically saying it's too early. We are just starting discovery, and he doesn't want to talk to the press because I guess the press reached out to him, and he's saying it's too early, so he doesn't have time to be talking to anybody right now. So, moving along. So it says Chapman's indictment. The gang Chapman allegedly led was called Dirty Money Entertainment, and it was based in South Carolina. Gang members and associates often wore jewelry and clothing bearing the initials of the gang's name, DME, and the gang's circle logo with the dollar sign in the middle and a marijuana leaf on top, the indictment alleged. Under Chapman, the gang operated out of Columbia, South Carolina, from a series of homes he and other gang members used, the indictment said. Many illegal operations were run out of the house in Blythewood, and the gang used airports in South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, California for its drug smuggling activities. The indictment alleged gang members would often get large amounts of cash, travel to LA, bring back loads of Mary Jane via the Greenville Spartanburg airport, the indictment said. Many gang members came from okay, I'm going to stop there. So that's the gist of it. The rest of it, they're just talking about how he got the people to join his gang, and I'm not going to go into that. This is crazy, you guys, because, okay, this is weird, okay? So, kind of trying to connect the dots. Erica Banks was routine traffic stop, was caught with felony possession of MDM and Mary Jane, right, with intent to distribute. Black Zach, with his Remy's baby daddy, they're on a show together, and he's a gang leader, allegedly. That's what they're saying. And he's being accused of distributing drugs. I wonder if there's a connection, meaning I wonder if Erica worked with him or worked, worked with him, or, like if they collaborated. That's the word I'm looking for. Because the girl that was in the car with Erica that was driving, the story says her name is Amina. She's from South Carolina. She's from the Greenville area, and Homeboy is from South Carolina, and the whole story there. I mean, I'm just connecting it now because reading what I just read from Erica's story, from Fox 5 story, and then his. So the girl in the car was with her was from South Carolina, and he's in South Carolina, and he's accused of doing all these things from the Greenville, South Carolina area. That's where Homegirl is from. So I wonder if they're connected. Wouldn't that be crazy if they're connected, or if they cooperated, or if they they work together? That would be crazy. But at the same time, again, feel sorry for Rennie, because she's got all those children. She had a baby by him, and and it said he's running stuff out the house. We don't know if that's the house that she lived in or lives in. So I just wish people would make better choices. But they're on this reality TV show, and they're both rappers, Erica and Rima. So it's like, I know they're probably not making much money like they used to, or people did back in the day. Even back in the day, they weren't making money like how some rappers are making money now. But it's like, I wish like they would have took their talent and, okay, if you're not making that much money selling music or being on Love and Hip Hop, like, why don't you like do other things, like maybe go on tour? And I know it's probably easy for me to sit here behind a mic and say go on tour. I'm sure there's so many things are involved, sponsors, money, so it's probably not that easy to go on tour. But I'm just saying, I wish like they would have figured things out differently versus going this avenue, because this is just going to lead you to being in prison, and this is not the life. Life is not worth living when you're going through something like this. And I mean, if you're in the jail cell. And then for Chapman, which is Black Zach, they're seeking the on a life penalty. Like what? Like that's crazy, man. That's just sad, you know. So y'all, I guess, keep them in your prayers, and just hopefully that's why you can't idolize these people and look up to them, because they make poor decisions, because they're, I mean, and then at the end of the day, they're humans like us. We all make mistakes, we all make bad decisions, but but for Black Zach though, some of the stuff that he's been accused, this is not just a merely, oh, I just made a mistake or I made a bad choice. Like this is criminal activity. So this is more than just making a bad choice. You're just a flat out criminal. Like you wake up every day to commit crime. So at this point, I'm not going. You can't say, "Oh, he made bad choices," because he did it from 2020 to now, and you did this every day. Like no, I don't know what to say, but I'm just gonna move on. I digress, because you can go on and on. But it's unfortunate that Remy, unfortunately, is going to be affected by this, because of that's her man. So let's move to the next story. So our next story is going to be Shamea. Shamea, my girl Shamea from Real Housewives of Atlanta. She had went to get a chemical peel, you guys, and ended up getting hurt. So I'm gonna read the story again, and we citing our sources. This is from an Atlanta news station. It's called WSB TV Channel 2 News in Atlanta. This station, this station, they stay in everybody's business. So, Real Housewives of Atlanta star Shamea Morton is suing an Atlanta doctor and her company for medical malpractice after she said she now has extensive permanent scarring from a chemical peel. And there's a photo, you guys, of the of her back and of this horrible peel. I'm not going to post it because I just don't want to do that. Like I said, I don't know if you're new to my channel, but I have met um, Shamea in person before. Her and her husband and her daughter, talked to them for a while, took pictures. Shamea is a sweet person, so I'm not gonna post that picture. So anyway, it says that Morton has filed a suit against Jin Wan Harris, MD. Jin Wan Harris, that's the doctor's name. Her company, Pretty Faces Atlanta, and other defendants, saying Morton should have never undergone a chemical peel due to her diagnosis of Tia verscolar, which is a fungal condition. I don't know if I pronounced it right, but she has. So basically, they're saying Shamea has a fungal condition, some kind of skin condition. So she was getting a chemical peel. So apparently, they're saying because of her medical condition that she has, she should have not trying to get a chemical peel. But okay, so reading the rest of the story, Morton apparently had the peel in March 2024, where she claims Harris applied double the amount of chemical peel recommended by the manufacturer, resulting in second-degree chemical burns, blistering, and permanent scarring. A picture of what appears to be the damage done to Morton's back from the chemical peel is included in the court document. And then there's the picture. It's horrible, you guys. It's horrible. Morton claimed she cried in pain due to the sensations she was experiencing. Shamea was screaming Screams were so loud that Harris, for the first time that day, entered the room where the procedure was being performed and inquired as to what was going on, the suit said. When Morton reported intense pain to Harris, Harris told her that she was being dramatic. Mm-mm-mm. The lawsuit also claims that Harris should have referred Morton to another doctor after learning about her diagnosis. Instead, plaintiff Shamea Morton should have been referred to a trained, qualified dermatologist for diagnosis, treatment, recommendations, and clearance of any potential cosmetic procedure before undergoing a chemical peel. Cosmetic treatments like a peel should never have been performed when the condition is related to fungal skin disease, the complaint said. In a statement to Us Magazine, Morton's attorney said, "What happened to Shamea when she was burned is unacceptable and unexcusable. We intend to pursuing full justice allowed under the law." Morton first appeared on Real Housewives of Atlanta during season 5 as a special guest. She then appeared as a friend in season 8 before being made a permanent cast member in season 16. Wow, and that's it. So that's from WSB TV in Atlanta. So this is horrible. This is horrible because poor Shamea. First of all, Shamea is always in and out of the hospital with Shiloh and her health conditions. Shiloh has had this, health scare since she's been born. So, and now to have this happen is sad. It's really sad. And get well. So now this one, we can say, get well soon, Shamea. We can pray for Shamea, and this is not something that anybody would want to go through. And I just pray and hope that she gets better soon. I know she will. She'll get better soon, but this is unfortunate, and I hope she do sue the hell out of that doctor because it is unexcusable. And then when Shamea was hollering and screaming, the doctor to finally come in there. They said that was the first time the doctor came in there that day. So I guess the person who was doing the pill was probably one of their assistant or one of their assistant nurse or somebody like that. Somebody underneath the doctor basically was doing it. So the main doctor comes in after the damage has been done. So yeah, I hope she does sue the hell out of them. And I hope she ends up winning and becoming victorious. So we might hear. So you guys, this story might end up making it to the show. But here we are having the story in real life as it unfolds. So that's all I have. Those 3 stories. Erica Banks in trouble with the law twice with a couple months. Chapman, Zach Chapman, a.k.a. Black, what's his name? Black Zach, and Shamea and her chemical peel. Y'all keep Shamea in your thoughts and prayers, especially her daughter Shiloh as well, because she just recently had surgery. And y'all also get in the chats. Let me know what what do you guys think about these 3 stories? I know you guys have your own opinions and stuff. So, and then do you guys think it's fair that the state of South Carolina is seeking the unalive penalty for Mr. Chapman for her baby daddy? Oh my God. I don't know. I kind of feel like that's a bit harsh. But then again, if he was unaliving people, then, you reap what you sow. So, let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel. And I'll see you on the next video. Take care.